We're here at Mariemont High School, and right behind the high school football field, and ironically enough, talking with the head coach of the Mariemont football team is Kurry Commins here with us. And Kurry, let's talk a little bit about the season. Off to a nice start, 4-0, and then league play. Well, that's always tough in the CHL. I think anybody that follows high school football in Cincinnati knows about the CHL and how tough it could be. The last game out, 55-13, Indian Hill got you. Didn't really have all the pieces though for that game.
No, we didn't. We were banged up a little bit, and that's what happens. Everybody's banged up week 6, But once you start league play, kind of throw out a lot of the records, especially with two neighborhood rivals. And you'd like to have had everybody with you, but unfortunately wasn't that case. But we tried. We gave it a great effort. We were just a little bit outmanned. And best thing about football is the next opportunity is right around the corner. So we're busy preparing, and hopefully we'll get back on the right foot this week.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that did happen early in the season. Blanchester, I know that was a great win for you guys here in the early part of the season too.
Sure, I think they're a little bit, they're off to a rough start as well, but I think they are vastly improved, and that was a good win for us. A lot of, a split game, half of it the night before, half of it on Saturday morning, hot conditions. So I was very proud of the way our kids started the season, and now it's the challenge of, we were able to go 4-1 in the first part of the season. Let's try to, we're still in position to be able to do that the second part of the season, and that'll put us back in the playoffs.
You kind of read my mind too, and we'll talk about the second half of the season coming up here, but you mentioned the split game. The weather has been just a crazy factor for probably all the fall sports, and poor Tom Nurl having to probably schedule and reschedule things, but it's out of your control. How do you to prepare for these things when you know that sometimes there's going to be a hot night, sometimes there's rainy and possible lightning around?
Yeah. I think two things. One, you stay in the game long enough, everything's going to happen. Good, bad, right, wrong, upside down. All that stuff is in play. But the second thing is you create a mindset that you can control what you can control. And I think when you instill mental toughness and commitment to team and program and doing whatever it takes, I have a personal mindset from an individual standpoint and a family standpoint that I use a lot with my kids, and that's find a way. We don't, there's not always a book for every answer. There's not always an easy option to choose, but you got to find a way to get the desired results that you want. And when you instill those things about controlling what you control, good things will happen.
Absolutely so, and it's good life lessons for the guys too. So we mentioned a little bit about not having all the pieces. One of those pieces you didn't have last weekend against Indian Hill, your quarterback Wally Rennie, who, he went through a lot to get back onto the field from last year's injury too. So, but I understand he will be ready this weekend.
I sure hope so. We're doing everything possible off the field because he makes us go offensively. There's no doubt about it. I like where our young guys are from an offensive standpoint, and they'll be ready maybe in another half a season or so. But if he's not, then we've put together a pretty good package, which I'll be happy to see come fruition Friday night,
if need be. One of those guys, though, that also is a big part of that is Charlie Coward. I've seen him play on the lacrosse field, and he's going to be going to the university or the Air Force Academy to play lacrosse. And that to me is an amazing thing. First in itself, he's a Division I athlete.
Yeah, Charlie's a special kid. He was returning first-team All-State Division V last year, and you better find out where he is on the field, both offensively and defensively. But I think what makes him even better is he's a better kid. He does things the right way. He's highly intelligent. He's a team-first guy. He tries. Sometimes I think he's a little guilty of trying to do too much. But he is just a blessing to coach, and I'm very fortunate to be around him. And he's got a great, great future ahead of him.
And we certainly don't want to minimize or I guess maybe put out just a couple of players out there too. So any other the senior players, guys that stand out?
Oh, I think a great example last week of small school football is we had our starting right guard was also our starting corner at the same time. So number 56 was a corner and a right guard, and Justin Taylor and Hunter Ripperteller are a couple of young guys who have selflessly switched positions, especially offensively, to help us. Jake Perkins is a returning center, another senior that we moved to tackle last week. I think the senior class has done a really good job in that regard. But again, our motto has always been one heartbeat, and we always ask our kids to move for the betterment of the team, and they are always willing to do so.
Well, you've been here long enough to see everything. The CHL always tough. Still on a schedule, you got Wyoming down the road, and not only are they the best, it seems like year in and year out in the CHL and one to always gun for, but they're one of the best teams in the city. But that's a great opportunity for your guys.
Yeah, you never want to shy away from that. From the get-go I got here, I've always said, Wyoming is the barometer, and they anytime you're playing a team that's the fourth winningest program in Ohio high school football, they have a lot of great pieces, and right now they're setting a standard. They're just on a different level, but with an opportunity comes, or with challenges come opportunity, and vice versa. So we'll worry about Wyoming week 9 and try to take care of the Reading Blue Devils this week.
Yep, 1 week at a time, exactly. Reading coming up, then Taylor, then Wyoming, finishing it out with Deer Park. So, well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck and hope we're talking about more playoffs down the road for this team. I know you've had 5 winning seasons in a row, and that's the next step is getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, to be able to small school football, sometimes you go through the ebbs and flows when you're really a small school, and you have to do whatever it takes to get on that right side. And our kids have fought, and they continue to fight. So I think we'll end up just in a very positive note.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Kurry. Kurry Commins, football coach here at Mariemont High School. I'm Greg Waddell from MariemontSports.com.